I've always believed that the best stories are found where effort meets reward. Where tired legs, scraped hands, and open skies eventually lead to a shared meal. Because food tastes different when it's earned. After the climb, after the rain, after the long road disappears behind you. A journey through mountains, coastlines, forests, and forgotten roads. Where every adventure ends at the table. This is From Trail to Table. I didn't choose Taiwan by accident. My first time here was during my army days, young, restless, passing through on duty. Over the years, I kept returning, sometimes for rest, other times for work. Most of the time, I explored the island through its food. But this time, I wanted to come full circle. Before the markets, before the night stalls. I wanted to meet Taiwan where the island begins, by climbing Jade Mountain. At 3,952 meters, it is the highest peak in East Asia. A place of silence, endurance, and humility. My journey to discover the other side of Taiwan begins here. The full climb up Jade Mountain takes about 3 days. After spending a night at the Charlie Shen Hotel in Dongpu village, we made our way to the trailhead. We started our trek after a customary prayer from our guide. From the trailhead, we would trek our way to Pai Yin Lodge to spend the night before the summit push the next morning. The trek towards Pai Yun Lodge was relatively gentle. Gradual slopes, cool air, and long winding trails through the forest. A calm beginning before the real challenge ahead. Pai Yun would be our resting point for the night. We started our summit push at 2 a.m. the next morning. It was far more unforgiving than expected. Steep inclines, loose rocks, and near the final 200 meters, scrambling became necessary. But then came sunrise, and suddenly everything, the exhaustion, the cold, the climb, felt worth it. Standing above the clouds, watching the first light spill across Taiwan, it was unforgettable.
好难觉，这个好难的，这题最难了。那当各位如果爬完山了哈，完成登顶的目标之后，回到台北的都市，那可以享用很多台北的美食。当然很多美食啦，有这个火锅啊，很有名的餐厅啊，大家都可以去试试看。那我个人是非常推荐大家也可以去我们的夜市走走，因为我们下山也蛮晚了哈，可以去夜市嘛走，有很多的小吃，那可以试看看台湾的臭豆腐、台湾的蚵仔煎，都是非常有名的，而且风味非常不一样。
And with the mountains now behind me, my journey to rediscover the food culture of Taiwan begins. This time I wanted to dig deeper. I wanted to get under the skin of the Taiwanese food culture. Not just in Taipei, but to all the other cities and townships across this island nation. And what better way to start than the city of Taichung? Taichung's food culture is a tangled mess of contradiction, nostalgic but innovative, and unapologetically authentic. Where Taiwan's culinary soul still feels untouched and alive. Taichung is frequently called the hot pot capital of Taiwan. And having dinner at Chen Hot Pot, I can understand why. Something about dining along a narrow alleyway makes the entire experience both nostalgic and authentic. I continued to make my way down south towards Chiayi County. Turkey rice and fish head stew are some of the more well-known dishes here. But what stole my culinary heart is a little restaurant somewhere in the Yilan township. Fresh mountain vegetables, stir-fried wild boar, mountain tea oil fried chicken, and wheat vermicelli. All prepared in a way that reminded me of grandma's cooking. Tainan is widely considered the kitchen of Taiwan. Many of Tainan's food shops are long-standing family-run institutions, often serving dishes with traditional, slightly sweeter flavor profiles. While making my way to Kaohsiung, I made a point to stop at Tainan City for lunch at Sin Sin restaurant. The Chinese charcuterie are something unusual, so it is definitely worth a try. Crab glutinous rice and shrimp omelette are must-try dishes. Kaohsiung's culinary scene is a vibrant seafood-driven blend of southern Taiwanese flavors. With Hakka influences and international touches, it is known for its signature sweetness, bustling night markets, coastal seafood dining, and deeply rooted street food culture. Because it is Taiwan's primary port city, the ocean dictates a massive portion of Kaohsiung's food culture. While I continued my journey towards the southernmost tip of Taiwan, I stopped by a little restaurant off the beaten path. One of the most unique dishes I have ever tried in Taiwan is served here. In southern Taiwan, a rare wild fungi emerged briefly after the rain among rocks and forest weeds. It is stir-fried with scrambled eggs here to create a dish poetically called Lover's Tears. In Taiwanese cuisine, tofu is far more than a meat substitute. It is a cornerstone ingredient celebrated for its versatility, transforming from pungent, fermented street snacks to delicate, silky desserts enjoyed across generations. Tofu skin or yuba is one of the many ways tofu is served. It is made by simmering soy milk until a thin, protein-rich layer forms on the surface, which is then carefully lifted, dried, packaged to be used in soups and stews. At this tofu making shop, it is served fresh. From the southernmost tip of Taiwan, I make my way north towards Taipei. The drive on the western Pacific coast of Taiwan was a magnificent experience. In my numerous visits to Taiwan, I always manage to miss an opportunity to dine at the Red Lantern Cherry Duck restaurant. So this time I was determined to make that happen. And I was glad I did. The duck was amazing. Served in so many different ways, but it was the duck nigiri that stole the show. Sushi rice topped with a small slice of cheese and wrapped around with a perfectly crisp skin. What a truly delectable flavor profile that created. I was greeted by a wet and soggy weather in Keelung. It was perfect for a bowl of hot seafood rice vermicelli. One of the best ways to experience the local culture is through the morning markets. Of all the different places I visited in Taiwan, nothing made me feel right at home than this market. As I made my way back to Taipei, something dawned on me. I could spend a lifetime here and still never fully understand Taiwan's food culture. There is simply too much history, too much depth, too many stories hidden behind every meal. Taiwanese cuisine is a hodgepodge in the best possible way. Complicated to explain, impossible not to enjoy. Because the beauty of food in Taiwan isn't found in a single famous dish or city. It's found in the people who wake before dawn to prepare it, the families preserving recipes across generations, and the feeling that no matter where you are on this island, someone is always asking, "Have you eaten yet?" As a Hokkien Chinese, I feel a deep connection to the people and flavors here. The soups, the braised dishes, the quiet warmth of the cooking, so much of it reminds me of home. In many ways, Taiwan feels like a long-lost sibling, one that I've only just begun to truly know.